So, hello everyone. So today we will be walking through on the artificial intelligence and its responsibility in pharma industry in India, and not only in India, even in the growing world. So, what can be a significant role on this pharma industry from this artificial intelligence? How these and the AI and the ML models that can be that can give us more advantage on the clinical field. So we'll be walking through on that. So before jumping into direct clinical part, we will be learning on the initial parts of our artificial intelligence. So let's begin. Yeah. So in these slides, we will be learning our introduction for our AIs and ML and deep learning, what these deep learning do, and what is the difference between ML and DL, and what is the importance of these AIs in today's world and in future as well. And so we will be learning those things today. And in the categories of AI. So we'll be starting from there. So before jumping on to that, first we will uh, let me explain what is AI. So AI is uh, it's a model that can act like a human, and the intelligence from the human that can be driven by the machine, that can be termed as artificial intelligence. So we have in this current technologies, we have only three type of AI. That is narrow AI. I hope you already heard of these narrow AI, general AI, and super AI models. So narrow AIs are just like a simple assistive tools, just like Siri's and Google Assistant and Samsung Assistant, those kind of things. And in the general AI, that is not yet achieved, but in these general AI features, most of the machinery part that can perform tasks on an intellectual basis, like let's say if there is a particular robot which can perform on the operations, which can perform on the brain surgery, so those kind of things comes under in general AI. But this is in progress right now. It is not achieved, but yeah, definitely it can be achieved in next 5 years. And in the super AI model, this is more high level of human intelligence, and even apart from even more from the human brain capacity. So it can perform everything just like humans, and even more from the human brains. So this is currently a hypothetical situation, but already POCs and works are going on the super AI models. So these are the three categories of AI model, which is in the current era. So let's move to the next slide on the machine learning and deep learning. So the difference between machine learning and deep learning is machine learning that can learn from the particular data sets, like image processing, data tags, and labeling of the data. So those kind of things, it can learn from the set of data, and then it can generate information on the machine learning. But if you talk about deep learning, so in deep learning, it can act like a human brain. So it will take some unstructured data, some unlabeled data, and then it can predict some kind of information, and then uh, it will give us the information. It is also a part of machine learning, but it gives unpredictable data as well. So that is the major difference between these machine learning and deep learning. So most of the things right now most of the companies working in deep learning right now. So in deep learning, we have three different type of categories. You can see that is CNN, that is convolutional neural network. So it is basically used for image processing. So let's say we have large amount of videos and images in our internet. So all those kind of data sets can be fetched from these neural networks. So let's say if I'm going in a hill station, and I have taken some pictures of the hills and rivers. So if I'm not going to add any tags or any label on the on my pictures or videos, then even though it can predict the data that what kind of uh, pixels are there and from where it is being taken. So these kind of things comes in the CNN, that is neural networks, and recurrent neural networks. If we talk about, it is more based on the speech recognition and language detection. So if I want to talk about some kind of some other language which I have never heard, so we can work on these recurrent neural network model to train our models on these language translation and transformations and speech recognition as well. And if you talk about transformers, so this is basically a NLP models, so natural language processing, just like human talk with each other, like in a general language. So these can be trigged and transformed via these chat GPT models and Google BERT models. So Google BERT is a search engine which is used for generating images, text, and all things. And it is totally worked on based on the research purposes. And these natural language will also transform the data. So let's say if I open the chat GPT model 4.0 and I type something on Hindi language, so it will generate things in the Hindi language itself. And if I wanted to convert this in a different language, then it will totally convert that. So this kind of transformation can be handled by these NLP models. So there is a basic difference on these three type of categories on the deep learning, and we can in this current age of technology, all these three categories are merged in a single LLM model. LLM, that is large language model, like our Google Bard and ChatGPT. Google Bard is basically our Gemini. So these are things which comes in a deep learning model. So let's move to the next slide for our supervised and unsupervised data. So supervised data, like what the data which has a particular category classification and particular tags. So let's say if I am receiving some kind of email which may be a spam email, right? So it will totally detect the HTML tags in the backend, and it will try to fetch the information and trigger the unstructured data, and then it will show that this kind of particular email which is spam email. And unsupervised, if you talk about unsupervised data, so the kind of data which has no particular information, just the image, just there is no metadata inside those images, inside those data and videos. So those kind of things comes in the unsupervised data. So most of the deep learning model work on the unsupervised data, and the general AIs and narrow AIs will work on the supervised data. So just the simple example. So let's say if I will be opening my Gemini, and I will ask that what is my birthday date. So it will not be able, it will directly give me that data if I in the past, if I input those data to those LLM models, right? So it will send the data based on the existing data that they have. So these kind of things comes in a supervised data. And if I talk about, and if let's say if I ask to my Gemini that where is my key on the table, so it is not going to detect directly. So all those kind of things comes in a unsupervised data. So I need to open my smartphone, and then open my camera, and then based on those recognitions, it will detect that these are your keys which is placed here. So these kind of things comes in a unsupervised data. And if we talk about reinforcement learning, so it is based on the model which learn from the environment. So let's say if four person are talking with each other and there is a one boat, available. So it will try to listen everything. It will try to adopt the environment, atmosphere, and then it will act like a human. So currently, let's say there is an example playing chess. So if a person is playing chess with a bot, so it can act like a, okay, I need to play chess and I need to win, and these are the steps. These are the particular patterns I need to follow. So these kind of things comes in reinforcement learning model. So right now, AlphaGo is a platform which is working on these. So you can walk through on that while searching on a Google. So let's move to the next slide. So right now, the AI artificial intelligence application, and there are multiple fields which they are working on. So if we talk about healthcare, finance, retail, manufacturing, and transportation, so there are various fields. Not only these five fields. There are also aeronautics, space settling, and all those things where AIs are working. And if we talk about healthcare mostly, so it can predict diagnosis. It can check the reports. It can discover some kind of medicine, drugs, based on the analysis and based on the data sets that we provide. And there are various fields which AIs are working on currently. So not AIs are working on, it's basically a human who are providing data to these models, and they are learning from those models. So let's move to the next slide for the drug discovery and clinical trials, where these models can be helpful for us. So AI can accelerate drug discovery by analyzing molecular structures, right? So if I'm giving some kind of medicine information and some kind of testing information to these models, they can predict things, they can learn things, and they can provide unpredicted data, that these kind of medicine and this kind of disease which can be cured by these kind of medicines. So this is totally based on the analyzation of the data. And AI-driven patient recruitment for clinical trials. Of course, so let's say there is particular a bot, and we wanted to do some kind of operation using those bots. So that particular robot needs to be AI driven. Not only a bot, it can be a robotic arm, it can be a particular program which can scan a human body, and it can detect some kind of data, and it can predict that, okay, these are the disease, this can be the medical equipments, and these can be the medicines for those kind of disease. So it is totally based on the AI driven model. And predictive modeling for drug efficacy and side effects. So once these model will learn all kind of data and drugs, so it they can predict that, okay, these drugs have these kind of side effects, and they can be given in a particular amount of time and capacity to particular patient. So these kind of predictive modeling can be deployed in these AI. And personalized medicine. So right now, most of the companies, there is an example which is one Tata 1mg, which is working on AI driven insights. So let's say if you go on the site, and if you have a prescribed label from the doctor, and you just upload that particular slip of medicines, and then it will detect everything, and it will show you that, okay, you have these kind of uh, disease, and you should take these kind of medicines. So right now, most of the companies are working on it. It is not totally structured right now. So in 2 to 3 years, I hope it will be completed. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So there are multiple available generative LLM models, which are text to text model. In this, uh, natural language inputs can be produced in a text output from the Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT models. So they can give us information from text to text, right? And if you talk about text to image models, so we have it is basically we just prompt some kind of information, and then they will these models will generate an images based on that. So there is a Mid Journey, DALL-E, and other image AI models, and there is text to video model, which is Google text to video, Cog video, and Meta AI, Meta AI make a video tools which you can use. And if you wanted to generate 3D models from the text, you can use GPT's Shapey model. And if you wanted to perform some kind of shortest task from the GPT's model, so you can use Gemini Bard. So let's say if I wanted to check all kind of spam emails on my email, right? So I simply go to my Gemini, and then I will add a kind of prompt. So search all emails from my particular email ID and give me all the unstructured and unlabeled or spam emails. So it will list all those things. And if you wanted to delete all those things, you can directly assign a task to these Geminis, and then it will totally delete all those things from your email. So there is a text to task which is currently very basic in a basic manner, but in next 2 to 3 months it will going to be a very advanced way, so you can use these things to perform your general task. Yeah, thank you.